Hi, everyone. My name's Lee Honish. Welcome to your online mastermind webinar, whatever you want to call it. It is live. It's September 28th at 12 o'clock West Coast time, 12:08 to be exact. If you're on the East Coast, it's 3:08 Eastern time. This is a very live event. I really do have a big room of people here, and I'm certainly going to go back to them for questions. This is structured out, okay? I'm going to tell you about the market. I'm going to tell you who I am and then about the market and why my perspective may or may not matter to you. I want everybody to make up their own mind. Does that make sense? I'm not here to bring people that aren't fully invested in this philosophy. That's the truth. Because what I'm asking you to do, for the sake of analogy, is to get in line to go see the opening of a movie, and you don't know when the opening of the movie is. Does that make sense? So let's say we're all going to go see Star Wars and we're all going to wait in line, pack our sleeping bags. I just don't know when the doors open. Okay. I can tell you what I think and when, and I can show you numbers to dictate that. But as a guy who's a former banker, I live in concrete facts. I can show you the facts that show the depreciation. I can show you the facts. After we get through that, I'll answer some questions for everybody that's here live. And then if you want, only if you want, I will show you how I go and meet this exact group of homeowners. I will show you my marketing pieces. I will show you my scripts. I will show you everything that I do. So let's begin. Hello, everybody. My name is Lee Honish, and I am the former head loss mitigator for IndyMac Bank's HELOC division. I'm not wired like the rest of you. I started in real estate and banking in 1988. That's a 30-year plus career of working in one very specific niche of real estate. I have worked for 3 different banks. I've had a real estate license that I let expire. I've developed and built houses. What most people know me for is for working at IndyMac Bank as head of loss mitigation in 2006 and 7. I was then asked by a title company and another company to go and speak. And I did that for 3 straight years. I spoke 3 to 5 times per week. It was probably in the range of, 30 or 40,000 real estate agents that I trained over a period of time. And I was viewed easily over 1 million times during that 3-year period of teaching about short sales. In 2010, I opened my own company. I am a private consultant. Or a coach, depending on how you want to term it. When I am asked to private consult, I needed to be the very best at a couple of things. One, I'm very good at the particular niche that I am good at. But the reason I became a consultant and the reason I became a coach and a mentor and a marketing guy was that I invented some marketing that I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how it works. That marketing has been used for distressed properties for the last 11 years. 2010 to 2020, I was named one of the top 100 marketers in America for a permission-based marketing approach that I'm going to show you. Because of that, I have actually become one of the top marketing real estate coaches, mentor, whatever terminology you want to use, for this specific niche. When it comes to distressed properties, I'm the guy. And that's why we're going to talk about them today, because they're about to happen again in numbers. But I think you need to understand something about me, or about me in general. And this goes out to everybody who's thinking of working in the distressed field. I am by nature and actually a very shy, withdrawn guy. I do some very negative work. I've worked in this field for over 30 years, and it's been very hard on me in general. I'm not the best student in the world. Actually, I was a straight F average. I'm one of those kids that always got tested to see what was wrong. And we found out later that I was dyslexic, possibly on the scale. I was called every name in the book, and I was actually beat up and bullied all the way up until high school. And that shaped my view on the world, right? The reason I explain all of that to you, to everybody who's on this call, I have never let it not let me reach my goals, right? I have been one of the biggest speakers. I have been one of the biggest marketers. I have been one of the major consultants. I have done things that are well beyond somebody would normally get with my capabilities. I truly fundamentally believe that. I believe it is my desire and my will to get above the things that hold me back. Just about a year ago, my father died. I went through another messy breakup, and I had to take responsibility for my own actions and my own life. And here's why I had to do it. The reality for everybody on this call, if you work in distressed properties, these are people that have the same problems as you do. We all have these problems. There's something internal that holds us back from being the number one agent, to having all the listings, to being the top producer, to being the number one speaker or distressed property person. And if you don't know how to get past those, how are you going to talk to people who have not only those issues, right? They're in fear. All of them are in fear of not being able to provide for their family. I bet that's a fear for many of you on this call right now, right? We have to get beyond that. We have to know that we're going to talk to distressed people. And if you're in distress yourself, it's going to be very difficult, right? You're going to need to rise above everything and get past fear and start becoming successful. My goal here today is to show you what the market's going to do and help you get over your fear of being able to provide for your own family. You're probably doing real estate because that's your major income, and it's difficult to get a listing right now. I'm going to show you a niche, and I'm going to show you concrete facts that hopefully will benefit all of you in understanding a marketing turn that is here. In fact, is it widespread? It's not widespread. Real estate is market to market. It won't be widespread for a while, but I will show you everything you need to know from my perspective as a former banker, as a former agent, as a former developer, as someone who works in this niche for, the last decade consulting. I charge $5,000 for 10 hours of my work. My coaching system is $5,000 to join. Those are very real. For those of you that are on this call, there is a link that I have sent out. We're rolling back everything because everything's going to change in a couple of days. Everything, right? And I'm going to show you why in just a minute. Has more to do with reporting and media and everything else. And I want to share that information with all of you. So let's do the first part of this, right? We're going to talk about the market. And if you guys want, or we have time, I will show you how to market directly to these individuals. And as a bonus, legitimately as a bonus, if we have time, I will show you how to have conversations and conversions. I'll show you exact scripts. And for being on this call, if you click that link right now and scroll down to the bottom, you'll see that I've got links to supporting articles. And you will also see that there are links to download some marketing pieces. If you're watching this and it's a replay, there's probably a link down below. It's homeadvocates.io/event. There will be a replay of this webinar when it's over and a bunch of links down below it. Simple as that. So let's talk about the market. I'm going to actually share my screen and hope for the best here. And let's see if this all goes. I'm going to check in with everybody. Can everybody see my screen okay? And me. I would imagine, and you can still see me. Does the whole thing. All right. Thank you, Kristen. All right. Let's talk about this. All right. These are 10 facts. These aren't like a disputed things. These are the facts I'm going to give you. When we're done with this and I answer your questions, I will answer questions on what I think, right? Based on my experience of 30 plus years. But these 10 items can all have an impact on inventory, prices, and buyers and sellers. And that's what you should care most about when you're trying to turn you all into a little bit of a futurist on this. To answer a question that was asked earlier, this is about being a futurist. Where's the projection of the market? What would a bank look at? I'm telling you based on these items, I can even tell you why banks are behaving the way they will. And I'll talk about that after we're done. Okay. So let's get started. Number 10 thing you should know. These are the 10 facts you should know. I feel like David Letterman. And if you don't know about the David Letterman top 10 list, you're very young. All right. Number 10, the eviction moratorium is over. So let's talk about the eviction moratorium being over, shall we? This is a good one and a good place to start. Where is it? I've actually got stuff to back this one up. I can't believe. There it is. All right. So this is an article that I actually have a link to back on the event page. It's homeadvocates.io/event. If you scroll down, there's a second one down is eviction state by state, right? So the eviction moratorium is over. You can look at this list at your leisure and check on your state. But look carefully. Alabama, no. Alaska, no. Arizona, no. Arizona. Arkansas, no. California, yes, till the end of the month. Colorado, no. I actually had somebody send me an email in Colorado and tell me they had zero impact. By the way, there's also a link for your actual state by state actual numbers. I don't go through them directly, but you can go state by state and find a complete write-up on your state numbers as well. All right, Colorado, Connecticut, District of Columbia. It goes on and on. Some have holdovers, right? Some do, like Chicago, Illinois is going till October 3rd. New York and New Jersey have a little bit. I think the primaries, everything on the west half of the United States is yes. And if you're in a straight, like the people from Florida that are on this call, if you're straight up on the East Coast, no and no. Simple as that. No and no. It's happening. It's real. Okay. That's fact number one. Let's move on to fact number two in order. I put them in order of importance. 1.6 million people are delinquent. Now, if you're thinking immediately, Lee, it's 1.6 million people in forbearance, correct? That's what it is. If you look at all the different write-ups, I'm just doing a Google search as of this morning. You can use any of these. 2 weeks ago, it's 1.6. It's about 1.7 here. I've heard it as high as 2.5 million people that have forbearance agreement. Let me make it abundantly clear. If you have a forbearance agreement, you are in default. And for anybody who's typing to me right now, that's not true. I am telling you, as a banker, if you have the words forbearance on your credit, you're going to take a massive 250 point plus or minus FICO hit. And they're going to put the amount of that forbearance on your credit report. Got it? It's a fact. 1.7, I say 1.6. Last numbers I looked at were this Black Knight article. Black Knight's about the only one really tracking it on a consistent basis, but everybody's using that data as a gospel fact. So let's just say 1.5 million people have forbearance agreements. Got it? They actually think this is going to be a benefit to the market because at least half of those people are going to have to sell. I'm telling you right now, these people are defaulted. At 31 days at 5 p.m., you're 30 days late. You are in default. You are a distressed property. You are behind on payments. You are a person who is actively in foreclosure at 31 days at 5 p.m. I don't care what you're only 30 days late. No, you are actively in foreclosure. That's why there's a late fee after 31 days. You couldn't do that if it was still a regular payment. 31 days at 5 p.m., we all know it. It affects our credit. Therefore, you are actively in foreclosure. Everybody who got a forbearance agreement is about to have a notation on their credit if they do not pay it off by the end of the month. That's a fact. So the question is, how many lawsuits, how many people are going to lose their mind? How many people are going to list? That would be something to speculate about. Again, we're only covering facts here, and this is a pretty easy fact. Fact number 8, 7.5 million unemployment checks have ended. We all know it. That's a factual number. I like this one. My question about all of this is, what's that really mean, right? If you got 7.5 million people who are unemployed or who are accepting checks, what impact does that have on the real estate market? It's a good question. How many of them are regular homeowners who were using those checks to pay, or how many people were using that money and planning on moving? Again, those are speculation points. I just want to give everybody here facts. Unemployment checks are over. 7.5 million people who are no longer getting checks. Got it? Next fact about the market. Number 7, interest rates are way too low. I don't even need a story for this, do I? I mean, seriously, the only thing I find interesting about this is probably the lack of stories talking about ending, right? Fox is actually the one talking about it most frequently these days, but the interest rate is set to the lowest level it can, right? I could get into a discussion about the Fed buying back bonds and having a 0 rate and what that would do on a recession level. I don't think that stuff matters to everybody in real estate. What I think matters to people in real estate is, and this is a simple question, do you think that interest rates can remain this low to keep track of the limit of inventory, right? The reason we're still moving houses and the reason people are overpaying is because the interest rates are still remarkably so low. So what's going to happen? More inventory that lowers the price. Therefore, the interest rates change. It's kind of think about this. It's a tip and a push and a pull. So if you bring prices more affordable, interest rates will certainly go up. If you have interest rates go up, certainly the amount of inventory will go up and prices will come back down, right? That's what will happen. People won't buy. Days on market will increase if the interest rate moves. In fact, they know that when they were talking about stopping the buyback program on bonds, they haven't tried this with real estate yet, but they have something called like market tantrum. This is a real point where the market responds, where the stock market starts to crash, and all kinds of crazy things have happened where they've seen it start there. And then the Fed literally by 10 o'clock says, no, we're not going to do it. And the market comes back up. So this is one of those things. I normally like check my rooms on this topic, but the reality is the interest rates are way too low and we need to accept that. Number 6, the values are way too high. Yeah, they are. And in some markets, the days on market are increasing because the values are too high. If you're in a market right now where 8 offers are going in and people are outbidding and beating each other with a stick, cool. I think my point to the values being too high is more about what it means for competition for all of you in your market. Okay, so it's based on inventory, right? That means you're not able to get more inventory from traditional sources like cold calling, mailers, door knocking, prospecting, whatever the terminology is, where you spend 40 or 50 hours a week dedicated to prospecting to find sort of a quote traditional sale, sitting on every open house, doing those types of things. So that's got to be harder and harder if there is less inventory, right? Wouldn't we all agree? That's just a logical thing. So if the values are too high, right, that means that there's a limit of inventory. It's not a supply. It's a supply and demand issue, but it's strictly based on the number of properties that are available. It's no other source. And it's still stimulated by the interest rate that's way too low, right? We all agree on this. So where are you guys getting inventory? Like that would mean that over the last year, getting actual listings was difficult, right? So when you're talking about what would affect real estate, values being too high would affect the market. Here's why. It means that people don't want to sell their house for whatever reason. Rents are also too high, right? So now we've got more and more buyers, more and more renters on the market trying to buy or whatever it is. Like there's a disproportional values on all of these systems. In all 3 of these cases, do you think they can stay the way they are? That would be the critical thinking on this. And again, I say the word thinking, not know, because we don't know what tomorrow is. We're just doing critical thinking based on actual stats that are available, right? Rents are way too high. We all know it. They've all hit double digits. Rent makes the news constantly. It's a very simple one to discuss, right? Do we think that rates can keep going up? Do we, right? They're about to evict 7 million people. What kind of impact does that have on the real estate market? Well, let's be critical thinkers. If renting is an issue, that means that I should be looking at 2 to 5 unit commercial deals, right? For investors that maybe wanted to evict people. Again, we got to look at this critically, right? From a distress standpoint. There are a lot of investors who want to sell because they are very upset that they didn't get paid rent and they had to keep paying, or they would have been in default as well in a couple of days. Does that make sense? So again, critical thinking. What direction does this lead me? Number 4, consumer confidence is at 60%. It's actually 66%, that it's not the right time to buy or sell. All right. So that takes us back to the big consumer confidence question about real estate. At what point does the price become too high? At what point does it not matter how much of a low interest rate, right? We're just over 60% now saying, no, there's something wrong. And some people actually think a bubble's coming because the prices have gone so high. And because we've talked about unemployment and money, people don't make enough to support the value of these properties. So of course, buyers and sellers are going to be more skeptical. I would ask all of you, what does that mean when looking for new buyers and sellers? I don't think there's ever going to be a problem finding buyers if that's the niche you want to work. Cool. The reality is sellers, right? If sellers start to feel that they're in a bubble, or the news starts to dictate any of this on a national scale, which they're not yet, they will. That means that they're not going to want to sell. Does that make sense? So whether or not you want to work distressed properties or you want to work whatever your niche is that you work, let's say you just work traditional luxury, buy, sell, selling, right? Traditional listing approaches, staying away from, specialties like probate, or in my case, pre-foreclosure properties. Okay, how are you getting them? If consumer confidence is gone on buyers and sellers, I know this for a fact. I watched a listing presentation on a high-end property, and the guy is betting against the market. He's betting against the market for a price that's too out of control. I was at that appointment. And within a couple of weeks of all the evictions starting to happen, this was a few weeks ago, he pulled his property off the market for fear of what the market was going to do. That is a typical seller right now. And that's a $2.5 million listing that I was at. So there you go. Number 3, FICO reporting is returning. Those of you who didn't know, during the pandemic, nothing was really reported to the FICO system. It is now starting to return. Right. What I find most interesting about this is that, what an ad. What I enjoyed most about this was the fact that Congress actually considered taking over the FICO system. It didn't get passed. Right. And this was a few weeks. It was about a couple of months ago. What it was, July is when I found this report. They were thinking of overhauling the FICO system and regulating the FICO system and resetting FICO numbers. Why would they do that? Okay, now we're into critical thinking. Well, if you turn off everybody's FICO system who isn't making a payment, who isn't paying rent, who isn't paying their utility bills, right? You don't have damaged people after that. The reality is, if we screw around too much with the FICO system, our entire purchasing and credit system falls apart. That FICO system will never go away. So here's the question, okay? Does anyone here think that the banks are not going to report everybody who has a forbearance, who's actually missed payments? I can safely tell you, because I saw it in 2006, when we tried to do forbearance agreements for a short period of time till the volume became too much. And the volume was just like this. We did it. It's a big deal, right? FICO is where you report it. If FICO is gone, you can't make new loans. You can't do credit. The government tried to regulate it. And FICO reporting begins on the 1st. Keep that in mind. Everyone knows it starts again. Number 2, credit report and filing has increased. It indeed has. So for those of you wondering when it's starting, again, real estate is market to market, right? But it has jumped about 20 plus or minus in each and every state, but the reporting has gone up by 20%. So right now we're only seeing 20% of the existing market. Those are actual numbers. So you can check a historic number, right? You can just take whatever number you get from your title, or again, call your title officer, your escrow officer, or wherever you can get your public data from, and get your county's notice of default, notice of sale, if you're on the East Coast, list pendants or auctions, compile that, right? And then that's 20% of the market. And if that number scares you, it should, because it actually looks like 1.5 million to 2 million properties that are probably going to be available. And number one, the government failed to fix it, right? This is one I get out of homeowners more than I get anything else. And we all know about the $46 billion that they weren't able to get out. They actually allocated $46 billion, $2 billion of that actually went out. The government is not stepping in. They're not going to have Wells, Chase, B of A, US Bank step in and fix this. Everything that I read definitively, right, from White House statements, they're not going to stop this at all. And honestly, the only people that this money was helpful for was, in general, renters, right? Most people who own a house, right? If you had an income of $99,999 or less, you could have applied mortgage or rental, and that's a combined household. Well, generally speaking, to get a house in the United States, in general, you got to make more than $99,999. And that's what they are considering affluent people. I'm going to tell you what I know. News and media otherwise, they have kind of made it a huge deal to constantly talk about the equity that is available in housing right now, and that people should sell and take that equity. There was a John Oliver piece 2 or 3 weeks ago, right at the beginning of the pandemic, about equity and wealth. It was timed exactly for the end of the eviction moratorium. And there was a reason completely for it. In statements almost completely out of the White House, it's always been, you have money, go and get it. This is what I think. I don't think they were ever intending to help direct homeowner. They were never trying to help anyone directly, right? Who was a homeowner. They were after the renters because it was a bigger number. And those are the 10 facts that, if any of these matter to you, as they should, but any one of these 10 can have an effect on the real estate market. And so I will answer questions. All right, everybody. Let's move forward. As I've said before, mentors have mentors, and I've come a long way. And I've reinvented myself. These are the 3 books, because I get asked all the time on every webinar, what do you read? What is your critical thinking process? And my critical thinking process is being an asset manager for most of my adult life. And if you're wondering, throwing out, over 100 families before the age of 21, whether or not that has deep lasting psychological scars, let me confirm it for you. They definitely do. But these are the 3 books that I recommend to everybody. The first is The 4 Agreements. Don Miguel Ruiz's book has had a fundamental change on my life over the last year and been very helpful. My marketing, the marketing I teach, a man I'd like to call mentor and friend, Seth Godin, wrote Permission-Based Marketing. Everything I do in my coaching group is based on the permission of the homeowner, period. That's the way we operate. We do not do any cold marketing whatsoever. Lastly, The Secret. I don't know why mindset isn't discussed more frequently in real estate. Real estate is a very negative business. And if you hang around with negative people who are not successful, all you're going to do is talk about being unsuccessful. I personally don't believe in that. I believe of being in a mindset and manifesting positive outcomes. And it's okay to be positive and manifest for money. I don't know why that is. I'm about to show you a system that I created exactly 10 years ago. This part of the webinar will only take 10 minutes. I'll fly right through it. 10 years ago, 11 years ago, 2010, I created marketing because I have a fear of being able to provide. I have an it. I don't know if any of you have an it, but I certainly have a major it. And I am a divorced single father. So I feel for everybody who has to keep it all together. That's why we're doing the second part of this presentation the way that we do. I want to make sure that you guys have the skills to be able to provide for your it. I created Monster Marketing in 2010. We've called it AMS. It's currently called the Home Advocate System. It is this permission-based marketing approach that got me named one of the top marketers in America in this very exact niche that I've been working for over 30 years. I created a system. There are 3 parts to that system. One is a general overview. The second is a community page where you can ask questions. And the third is what we call our hub. Inside of that hub, we have multiple approaches to meeting homeowners face-to-face. And I'm going to go through them all. We have our direct marketing approach. I'm going to show it to you with our marketing piece, our face-to-face method. And feel free to Google the words home advocate and scroll down and look and see how you can, our agents are right on the front page of our website. Coaching calls are archived. We have an iBuyer program. We have an investor program. We have audio books and video that help expand your perspective. We have my 10-year archive of marketing pieces and stuff that I've created for other people. We also have a video archive of over 1,000 hours talking on distressed properties and everybody I've ever had speak at a major event, as well as a white label book gallery where you can be the author of your own distressed book. So let's talk about the hub and let's talk about first the face-to-face method. It's one of my favorite approaches, and we just talked about it. You are going to be out on the street, and your goal on a daily basis is to have somebody ask what you do. I'm going to give you something right now. I'm looking at you guys. I'm telling you guys this right now. If somebody asks what you do in the current real estate market, okay, you want to say the following words. We've tested it. This works. It's about a conversation. And that statement is, I fix broken real estate. This is the way we coach it. Each and every month, we create new marketing based on psychology and what the market's doing so that you have a new message that you can use for your own emails or for your own face-to-faces with people. What do? I fix broken real estate. Really, what does that mean? I work with people who've missed payments. That's when you want to give them, we will give you a template for your home advocates card, right? And even a place to go buy them. I think the printing on it is like $9 or something, but you just want to have these handy. There's a testimonial on the front, information on the back. We want you to use the home advocates information. You can certainly use your own if you want. And then it gives you an opportunity to write your cell phone or, personalize the card. Keep it as simple as possible. But what I want you to do after you say that is, hey, why don't you open up your phone? Say the same thing to all of you here on this. Hey, open up another screen, go to Google and type in home advocates, right? Talk about the strongest persuasion you can do. We were talking about this before we start, but I talk about it on all my calls. You want to build instant credibility. Tell someone to type in home advocates. We are line 1, period. Above government organizations, you name it. We are line 1. You want them to click on it. And here's why. What the heck happened? There we go. Ooh, went too far. Let me scroll back. So once they click on it, it'll bring up the front page of our website, which I'm sure many of you are doing right now. You tell them to scroll down and go, there's my information. Now they have your email. That's the face-to-face method. And I recommend it for all of you if you can get page 1. The second is our direct marketing method. We call it the 12-step program. It's been called Monster Marketing. It's been called AMS Marketing. We actually called it Home Advocates Marketing for a while, but it's the 12-step program. It's 12 simple steps, and I'm going to tell you exactly what they are. This is directly from our website. You're going to send us an email, right, to get you your leads and get them all set up. And you're going to let us know that you are going to start putting out your marketing piece. It brings up an email address. to our personal email boxes. Next thing you're going to do is go on Amazon and order Avery Label 6464s. I'll show you what they look like in just a moment. You're going to download a template to print on to those. And that's what it looks like. It's 8.5 by 11. You download the marketing, you print it directly onto the sheet. They look like delivery labels. In fact, that's what they are. We've been perfecting it for over 11 years. Home Advocates has been doing this for 11 years. I'm on file with every department and bureau of real estate in the United States. I've been teaching it for 11 years. This marketing approach is phenomenal. You're going to pick out 12 properties. We're going to send you a big group of lead. I want you to pick out 12 properties based on geographics. Then go on Root Excel. Again, a very simple program. And you're going to pick out 12 properties for that day. It'll take you about an hour to go to 12 houses and put those marketing pieces up. You're going to write down in the exact order you're going to their house, the last name and a tracking number on the front of those marketing pieces. You're going to follow your route. You're going to go to house number 1. You're not going to knock on the door. You're not going to leave anything at the front door. You're not going to do anything traditionally that you can think of. This is what I want you to do. I want you to get out of your car. I want you to knock on the, I want you to place it on either the garage door, the mailbox, or the front door, and not press it all the way down. It permanently sticks in some cases. Pick up some lint from your shirt. Yeah, I made a video so people do it correctly. That's all you do. Then walk away. I don't want you to do 100 houses. I want you to do 1 hour on Monday, 1 hour on Wednesday. Appointments are scheduled by a call center. They will take that call and they will answer like a professional call center on your behalf. Those leads are then sent through the pipeline over to me. Do not knock on the door. Do not worry about any of this, right? And once you get an appointment, you just click on the link in step 12 and download your instructions. So this is what they look like. They come directly to me. And what you see are initials. You put your initials first and then a tracking number. I get them and then I forward them to you. I guess that when I get to my final goal of 1,000 agents, I'll probably have to stop doing it. I'm at 100 and change right now. And I do it because I want to keep track of the leads and the data. And if the system is working all over the United States, which they are, they work in every market. They've already converted to listings. What you're looking at are real qualified leads. They know why you're coming over. They know who you are and what you're going to talk to them about. That is as good as it's going to get for any marketing, especially in this particular niche. That is our marketing system. We do coaching calls in our system 3 times a week, Tuesday at 9 a.m., Wednesday at 9 a.m., and Thursday at 9 a.m. I think I have, if you guys will give me another 5 minutes, I will. I know that we're at 12:58 and I've gone a little long. Give me 5 or 10 minutes. I'll actually show you our scripts from our own coaching group. Okay. These are our direct scripts from our coaching groups that we do 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 9 a.m. And in fact, as a bonus for being on this call, I will invite all of you to our Q&A tomorrow. Today's Tuesday, so tomorrow at 9 a.m. So step 1, when you get appointments, which you will, we guarantee that you will get this appointment. Hi, my name's Lee. I'm a homeowner advocate. Did you know you were actively, were you aware you were actively in foreclosure? You have a scheduled time and date to meet with them. We will give you the documents to take, right? So you will get an NOD or a notice of sale or a list pendants or an auction from whatever state you're in from your title company. And you will hand them a copy of it. I'm a homeowner advocate and I'm here to present you your alternatives to foreclosure. You print 2 of them out, give one to your client. By the way, if you think that this is super simple and that you can do it, good. It'll get you listings within about 3 to 4 weeks by doing this exact set of steps. Right? And then you're going to read the alternatives. Well, you can do nothing. You can pay off or refinance, reinstate, partial claim, deed in lieu of foreclosure, bankruptcy, loan modification, forbearance, or sell your house. Now, don't worry about them saying they want to do one of these things. Okay. At this first meeting, it does not matter. Plus, there are explanations of each option. You don't want them taking action. We've actually done all the studies and the surveys on homeowner dictation. What I want is a second appointment. They go, yeah, I want to think about it. I'm thinking about maybe a loan mod or whatever. Cool. You need to collect all the data anyway. But before you leave, you want to ask them one question. And this is what will connect with you. This is $1 million closing line that came out of one of our masterminds. I just have one question before I leave. What did the bank do to you? Psychological fact, 30 plus years of me being in the banking industry, homeowners will never take responsibility for missing payments. They will blame the bank. They always blame the bank. It's our fault we made the prices so high and they signed the contract. If I sound cynical and jaded on the topic, it's because I am. What I'm trying to do is come back and have a second appointment. Generally, our experience is you need to make contact with your client about 3 to 5 times to start seeing listings. Make sense? So we give you all those tools. And if you can't handle it, let me know and I'll follow up with them. We have a system in place. So you're going to engage and deliver on the second appointment and bring them the information that they wanted. We have all of it in an archive. We have loan mod, forbearance. We have information for everything. And you have me if you're a part of our program. If they need to have a discussion about any of those things, I'm happy to have it with them. Okay. Education is the key, not a sales pitch. That is the way we teach it. If you're here for the quickest route to getting a listing and you don't seem to give a shit about the people you step on to get your listings, I'm not the guy for you and I will find out about you. I'm here to help 1 million homeowners and help 1,000 real estate agents. And I will get real estate agents listings and opportunities for more listings. And I will completely create more marketing for them to reach that goal of helping 1 million homeowners. So at the second appointment, you're going to ask the big question, what action do you want to take? It's no different than a proposal. I don't care what they say at this moment. It's the way we teach it, right? Outside of them saying, I need to sell my house. Yes, you do. Anything else? Again, another $1 million line that we've been coaching to our group. I understand that, and I hope it works out for you. I have one question before I leave. What's your plan B? All right, think about the brilliance of this. Cool. I hope you get your loan mod. I hope you sue the bank. I hope you win the lottery. It doesn't matter what they say. What's your plan B if that doesn't work out? And here's the number one answer. I guess I'll just let them foreclose. That's your opportunity. Do you know you have equity in this house? Do you know that you won't get that equity out if they foreclose? It'll be next to impossible to get all of that equity back out of this house. That's when your job becomes a salesperson. That's the way we coach it. If you can handle that, you can stay within our parameters. I will get you opportunities and I will help you list. What is the commission split? Olivia, what is the commission split with your brokerage for agents that come aboard? I don't take any of your commission. If you use our iBuyer, or you need our assistance on something, we have a fee. But Olivia, use my marketing all day long and go get listings. All I ask you to do is what happens at that first meeting. Educate them. I have surveyed everybody in the distress field. To make a difference, these homeowners need an education. I want to brand you, Olivia, put you top of mind and help these people. Does that make sense? Alan, when we meet the first time and present them with a copy of their NOD, NOS, where can we get that document? Your title rep. Some of you can get it from your MLS. If you have a problem, let me know. I have people that I can probably call and get a copy of it for you. That's part of our program. That's what we're all about. So that's it. That's how our system works. Not only is there the hub and the 12-step program and the face-to-face method and coaching calls and the iBuyer program. If you use our iBuyer program, Olivia, we make 1%, but that just basically pays off the funnel. I believe this, and I say this to everybody, 85% of what you do in distress work is for free. It's the 15% that pay you. And my experience, it's provided for me and my daughter, and I don't have a fear of being able to provide for her or the people that work with me, Derek, my CEO, or anybody else, or my agents for that matter. We don't have those fears, right? We don't need to make a killing. I'm not one of those big guys. I don't have monstrous amount of students. This is a mom and pop organization. We keep it small so that if you have a problem, you call us. You can get a hold of me, send me an email. I do 2 of the coaching calls myself every week. I've actually cut down taking private consulting gigs so that I can focus on trying to help these homeowners because I know for a fact something's going to happen, right? We also have a deal for investors. I monitor them very closely because there's a lot of fraud in that field. All of the archives, everything I've ever created, of course, our webinars and our catalogs and white books. So how do you join? I sent you guys this link. I'll send it one more time. It's It's real simple. There are 2 ways to join. You can use that link right now and you can sign up. It's a one-time fee. There's no monthly fee. I don't take a percentage of your commission. I'm trying to help you. The price you normally would see for that is $5,000. We've lowered the price to help all of you who are getting in line early. And we're being very fair about it. There is no monthly fee. There is no piece of your commission. If you have worked with me before, I believe there are a couple of you on this call, right? You did Short Sale Genius, you did AMS, or you did Monster Marketing. I will upgrade you. You need to send me a link, lee@honish.io, my email, and I will send you a one-time fee for an upgrade. Simple as that. And as I said before, Homeowner Advocate Marketing System, 100% guaranteed to get you face-to-face or Zoom to Zoom or your money back. I mean, I'll refund your investment. If I can't get you face-to-face and having these conversations, then you deserve your money back. But make sure that you're doing it correctly. Don't sign up just because you're looking. Again, this isn't home run baseball, right? I need you to go out there and make a bunch of singles. I know the terminology doesn't work. If you be a Tom Brady, I want you to dink and dunk. Go out, meet people, build your catalog, follow up with them, build a group of people. 80% of the homeowners you're going to encounter with face-to-face appointments are going to transfer title on their property. I've quoted it as high as 90 because in the 7 to 10 era, 9 out of 10 people lost title to their house once they went 91 days at 5 p.m. Okay, I'm going to say that again. 91 days at 5 p.m., title was transferred. 9 out of 10 people. Got it? This whole thing about loan mods fix the system and forbearance fix the system and refi, none of that really happens. People who don't pay, don't pay. That's a historical fact. It's the fact my dad taught me when I was 18. And it's what I'm trying to teach you. You cannot be the person who gets sucked up in the government's going to fix this kind of thing. And for those of you that are signing up right now, I'm going to lower all hands. I do this. If you have signed up or you are signing up, by a show of hands, is anyone signing up? Because you have till the end of the webinar to do this. I am throwing in another $500 value funnel for those of you signing up today, right now. What is a funnel? We just had this conversation on a coaching call. It's going to be a video. You're going to put it online. You can use it on all your social media. You'll have an actual squeeze page, homeadvocateslive.com/your name. And it will have the 800 number for the company. It'll talk about the book you wrote, and it makes little pop-ups, and it's a squeeze funnel that I can keep track of, and I can keep getting you the info, and I can keep giving them information because they've already acted. Does that make sense? And we will create that squeeze page, and we will get you all involved so you have an online presence. All you have to do is post the video and post a link. Hey, click here if you need help or your missed payments. You just change message. We give out new messages each and every month. So next Tuesday, my group will get a brand new marketing message. Last month was real estate is broken, right? I try to help people who've missed payments. That's the angle. Angle is the wrong word, but that was the marketing message. Each and every month, I create new marketing messages that you can carry out in your social media as well. And that's also included. I just thought it would be helpful for everybody that was involved. And that's it. Link is at the bottom of the page. Is there anybody I should keep an eye out for that's filling out the form that wants the, so I got to see you. If I turn this off, I want to make sure. Thank you for those that have clicked it. I appreciate it. All right. Any more questions? Thank you for the webinar. You're welcome, Julia. Going once. Going twice. Thanks everybody for being on the call.